fuck.
Do you want to try some? It was over for my birthday lunch.
I don't know. I think I'd have to look at it. Oh, who made that?
Eh?
Who made it?
I think Glenn bought it from Marie the Major. Yeah, I put some in for myself. I heated it. It's getting a bit stale.
You could make custard and have cream.
Yes, yes.
Douse it in sugary stuff. Oh.
Actually, yogurt might be quite nice with it. Should I heat a bit for you? Just a small bit.
I think I might have coffee and a little bit more. Can I have the chocolate?
Yeah.
Because you don't like it, do you?
Well, I like my chocolate better. My chocolate is dark. Like, I want you to try this cake.
What cake? Well, just, yeah, well, yeah, okay, I can handle that, I guess.
There you are.
Actually, that would be nice. I swear that if you was some kind of culinary wizard, you'd find some kind of buttery, saucy thing to make it all nice.
Well, quite often in cafes, if you're having something like this, they'll say, do you want cream or yogurt?
It's quite nice, isn't it? I like having cream and yogurt. And I guess I'm just a pig. But I mean, I think they're stingy. They've got one little thing of cream, one little thing of yogurt.
I'm going to put the prime news.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I hope nothing horrible has happened. Like, sometimes watching the news can be just utterly depressing. Litany after litany of ghastly tragedy.
Murder.
Murder and mayhem and people being
Never
nasty.
heard of that. Step close.
For a speedy recovery.
Queenstown's mayor says it's another blow for the town's already struggling tourism industry.
These things are never good, but at this particular point in time, it's doubly not good.
It's not the first accident K-Jet has been involved in. In 2008, a Chinese woman was killed when she became trapped under an overturned jet. In a statement, K-Jet says it's working closely with authorities, as well as launching its own internal investigation into today's incident. A spokesperson said they are supporting the passengers' friends, family and the driver.
The safety record of adventure tourism is pretty good, but these things do happen from time to time, unfortunately.
Police and Maritime New Zealand are now investigating. Shannon Redstall, Prime News.
Do you think I'm a disgusting
A state of
pig
emergency
if I
has been
ate
declared
all
in New
this?
South Wales as the flooding there.
What?
Am I a disgusting
Yeah.
pig if I eat all of it?
Eat a lot.
4 times the average monthly March rainfall in just 2 days. And as Emma Cropper reports, the situation is expected to get worse.
With each hour, more homes are being lost under the muddy waters, slowly creeping above the rooftops of family homes. Look closely here, 2 people stranded on their deck. This is the view of Taree homeowners today in the town north of Sydney that's worst hit so far. Moving south, an exploding Parramatta River. It broke its banks 24 hours ago, a rush of water spilling into the ferry terminal. But it's the slow-moving beast above it that has everyone's attention. Warragamba Dam, Sydney's biggest. Enough water here to fill Diamond Harbour 8 times over. It slowly started to seep into the streets and streams below.
I'm concerned. The Bureau is very concerned.
This, forecasters predict, will be a natural disaster for the history books.
That is bigger than the February 2020 flood. It is bigger than the 1988 flood. It is bigger than the 1990 flood, and it's bigger than the 1964 flood.
It's only day 3 of the slow-moving but powerful storm that saturated Sydney and much of the wider state, already showing how dangerous and volatile it can be.
As you can see, there's a lot of damage.
The tramp lifted up and over homes, impaling this Chester Hill church.
Have you seen anything like this before?
No, never. Especially on a trampoline on a road.
State emergency services patching the damage,
Alright, so that hole up there, we need to get it because it's going into the floorboards down the bottom.
bracing for the inevitable, that there will be more to come.
They said it was going to be wet, but I don't think anyone's expecting this.
And tonight, a warning.
You have already experienced some very dangerous conditions, and they are going to be treacherous yet again.
Tomorrow, the weather will be at its worst. In Sydney, Emma Cropper, Prime News.
Police in Auckland have been giving more details of the double fatal stabbing in Epsom on Friday. They've named the 2 victims and say a witness who was also wounded was a close family friend called to the scene beforehand. Alice Wilkins joins us from Epsom now. And Alice, what do we now know about the victims?
Yannicka, police have confirmed that this was a family harm-related incident and that the 2 people who were killed were a husband and wife. 60-year-old Herman Bangira and 55-year-old Elizabeth Bangira both died here at this Epsom property from stab wounds. Now, the man who is in a critical but stable condition in hospital is related to them, and although police wouldn't confirm the exact relationship, News Hub understands that he is their son. The man remains under police guard, and police will wait for medical approval before they can formally interview him. But today we have also learned more details about a 4th person who was injured at this property.
Really?
The person who suffered the superficial injuries was a close family friend, and he was called to the scene not long before the incident. No doubt, and understandably, is in shock. And so we're offering support.
Why?
We have interviewed him, and he was us great.
And Alice, you've heard more about the 2 victims from a member of their church community.
Oh.
Yes, Yannicka, a spokesperson for their church
Jesus
said
is
that they had a
involved.
strong faith that Elizabeth Bangira was a member of the church choir and that they were greatly loved within their church community and will be greatly missed. Now, scene examination is still ongoing here in Epsom, but police have today confirmed that they have found a knife at the property that they believe was used as the weapon. At this stage, though, no charges have been laid.
Thanks, Alice. Well, an investigation is underway into a suspicious fire which damaged 2 police cars in the Christchurch suburb of New Brighton. Police say the cars were set alight inside a secure yard at around 4 o'clock in the morning. The New Brighton police station was evacuated and cordons were put in place. And in a separate incident, a police officer has had surgery after being stabbed in the arm during a call out in the town of Oxford last night. The alleged offender is in custody. Families of children who took part in a tag football tournament in South Auckland have labelled its organisation a shambles. The competitive side of the event was abandoned last night, leaving those with a shot of winning a gold medal frustrated and angry. Diana Visic explains.
This is tag. No, not the type you played at primary school. It's like rugby league, but instead of tackling someone, you rip off their tag. And ripped off is exactly how many of those attending are feeling.
So one of our parents, they've got like five or 6 kids that play in this tournament, and it's expensive.
The National Tag Tournament started on Friday. Late last night, organisers made the decision to keep today's games as friendly only because of a shortage of refs. Organisers say some had suffered injuries while reffing and others couldn't fill in.
This is the first big tournament we've had since the last 2 lockdowns. Getting back to it, it's been a bit nerve-wracking.
One of the refs took to social media and writing that they paid $100 for 5 games, but they had to oversee 10 games, most of them back-to-back. The decision for final games to be friendly only has angered many. Players say they paid $100 for the uniform, a $60 registration fee, and travelled from all over the country to be here.
The organisation needs to be more organised.
Blackfin Crystal Toffa and partner Jason Toffua coach the Pacifica Carver brothers. They've been training up to 3 times a week for this tournament and won all their games on Friday and Saturday. They should have been in the final today, but are now playing for fun.
Kids going through injuries, our parents sacrificing financially to be here, they're taking time off work, the sweat, tears, blood that they're putting.
New Zealand Tag Football has admitted this event definitely didn't go to plan. They say they get no proper funding and the sport has grown so much in popularity that by hosting an event of this size, perhaps they've bitten off more than they can chew.
You have to charge our people, you know, a fee to come in, and it's really tough because the people that we charge are the people that can least afford it.
Adding to the troubles, they say some of the refs were abused by players and their families.
Many people are anxious, they are not working, they have lost their businesses, and the outcome is that the children and the adults are feeling really stressed, and it's come out on the field.
Some games were also abandoned.
Unfortunately, the last game ended up pretty roughly, with some shoulders that ended up to what we'd probably call biffo on the field, and the game was abandoned.
And even though the organisation may have been far from ideal, the sideline singing has been pitch perfect.
Oh, gross. Fuck. Make it stop. That's
Diana
gross.
Message, Prime News.
Youthline's future has been guaranteed for the next 12 months thanks to $1 million in government funding. Health Minister Andrew Little visited the Youth Mental Health Helpline in Auckland this morning. CEO Shay Ronald says thousands more young people will be able to access their service because of the money.
We know that a lot more young people are experiencing anxiety and just because of the disruption to their lives. A bit of inner turmoil, and so it was important to have Youthline supported to provide that.
Youthline has seen a spike in demand, which is partially due to COVID-19 and the lockdowns. Still to come on Prime News, why Jeep may change the name of its famous Cherokee brand. Plus, a major decision on the Tokyo Olympics means almost 1 million people can no longer go.
Oh no.
Tonight on Prime, The Great Escapers. At 7, Porn Stars. 7:30, Outback Truckers. Then the FBI determined if the plane crash was an accident or murder. And later, MacGyver's Vegas holiday is cut short when he's abducted.
The greatest outback of all time versus a goat. Up the mountain, down the mountain. But who's for no match for symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive? The all-new Subaru Outback. The greatest outback of all time.
Herare whānau i te materongo, te rapea kāre koe te mōhio kua pāngia koe. A tēnā, i tēnei wā heu ua materua te kauora o koutou te rongo iau. Kia pēnei rau te hoihoi, nō te kauora noa e rongo i tēnei kōrero. Nāna kāre te wari te kauora i te rongo i ngā kupu matua. Koe a mātou e whakahau nei kia hono ki te Great Big Hearing Check. Whakamātau hea o pukinga rongo, ka kohaine a mātou he kotahi tāra ki tūao. Whakapā mai ki Great Big Hearing Check, Irakati Kau, Irakati NZ.
Wasn't actually what I was looking for anyway.